Alright, so welcome back to these Creo tutorials. Today we're going to be making this standard sweep. As you can see, it's going to be this I-beam cross section, and it's going to follow this hook type path. So let's open up Creo. We're going to, like every other time, we're going to have to select our working directory. So again, just drill down to where you want everything to save to, and then we're going to do a new part. We want it to be the type to be a part, we want the subtype to be a solid, and we're just going to give it a name. We like every other time, we want to use the default template, then just hit OK, and then we're going to start the part. So the first thing we have to do is we have to set up the path that this is going to follow. So to do that, we're going to click this. We're going to use the sketch command, so we can click on the front datum plane here and then hit sketch, and then you can see that brings us into the sketch command like every other time. The other way we can do that, and doing this will actually help with the orientation of everything. So instead of pre-selecting the front datum plane, if we actually hit the sketch command first, it's going to bring up this window here. So then you hit the plane you want it to be on, front, and then it will fill in everything else. And then what that does is it sets up your references. So as you can see, it sets our right reference here to be to have the orientation for it to be the right one. If you pre-select the front datum plane, you have a chance of it possibly selecting the right datum plane to be the top orientation or the left orientation. So just by going through and doing it this way, it's going to actually make sure that everything is set up correctly. So with that, we're just going to hit sketch, and then we're going to do our sketch view. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to start creating that path we want it to follow. So we're just going to use the line command. We can go through and set up some sort of path. You can do whatever you want here. Put in a arc, and then so this will be the path it's going to follow. And we want to go through and change some things around. Maybe we want this to have a fillet in it. Again, you can just come up to the fillet command, click there, and then it's going to have that. So maybe we want that to have a fillet of 50. A couple other things you could do over here is instead of adding that fillet command, maybe we just want these to be tangent. So we can come up here to the constraint toolbar and then click this tangent constraint here, and then click the two features. And as you can see, that makes that it makes those two tangent together, and we're just going to add in another fillet there. So that's going to be the part the path is going to follow. We don't need to close this one off like we had to for the extrudes in that, because this is going to be a path that we want it to end. We don't want it to loop back onto itself. So with that, we're going to hit the green check mark, and now we're going to get into the actual sweep command. So we're going to go to the ribbon, click sweep, and then we have to go to references, and we have to define the path that it's going to take. So under trajectories here, we're going to click on the path, and you can see it selects this this path that we made. You can see it has these white boxes like the other ones did. You can drag those if you want it to stop in a particular place. We're just going to let it go through the whole thing. And then you can also see this pink arrows where it's going to start and the direction it's going to move. We're going to leave that over here, but if you want to switch it, you can just click on that pink arrow. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on this icon up here, this notepad and pencil icon, and that's going to let us actually create the sketch for the cross section. So we're going to do this sketch view, so we get that normal to view again, and then we're going to go through and create our I-beam. So we'll just go through with a couple line commands here to make that. And you can see that we have that I-beam. Now over here you can see that this isn't actually vertical. If we wanted that to be vertical, we can come back up here to the constraints command again, and we can click on this vertical constraint, and then we can just click that, and you can see it switches it over. You can also see that there's a couple of different constraints that happened. Like these two lines here, the same length. If we didn't want that, you can just click on where it says L1 and you can delete it, and then it will put in those dimensions for you to change, and you can change everything independently then. So maybe we wanted this to be 10 and the other to be 9. As you can see, that actually will go through and change that. The other way that you can go and avoid that, so I'm just going to delete that and we'll show you this real quick. If we go through and create this, say we want those top and bottom pieces to be different. Oops. Delete that real quick. If we wanted these two here to be different, and it's actually constraining those right now, if you click on the right mouse button twice, it will have that line go through it, and then that actually will delete the constraint before it's actually made. And we can go through, and now you can see that those two are actually different. So with that, again, like the other times, our dimensions aren't too important, so that's going to be fine for what we want. And we're just going to click on the green check mark, and you can see now that if we click the green check mark, we have an error. So awesome. So with the error, we're just going to go up here. You have to click on where it had that play button. Right now it was paused. And then we're going to go back in and edit that sketch. So we're going to go back in. So I'm thinking what it probably was is our dimensions were just too large for this. So what we can do to make this a little bit smaller, if we select everything and then go up here to the editing command and we do the modify tool up here. So we click on that, and then that's going to actually allow us to change these dimensions. And we want to use this lock scale, and then what that's going to do is every dimension's going to keep the same relationship. So because this is approximately half, it's going to keep that approximate half relationship. So let's take this down to, say, 3. So there you can see it kept all the dimension relationships the same. So with that, we're going to click on the green check mark, and now you can see that it's actually following that path. So we can hit the green check mark again, and you can see that we have our sweep. It has that I-beam cross section, and it's flowing through everything. Again, like every other time, we're going to go through and just change the color of it. We'll make this one red. So click on the sweep command and hit OK. And then the final thing you have to do is just save it. So click the save icon. It's going to save it to where your working directory was, and we're going to hit OK. And that's it. Hope this helps, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.